This is Fieldsports Channel News. A Northern Ireland politician is pushing for a ban on hunting with dogs. The move by Alliance Party's John Blair was spurred on by a League Against Cruel Sports poll, claiming most people in Northern Ireland oppose hunting with dogs. He's planning to table a private members' bill in the new year. Lax claims 84% of people polled oppose hunting, although that result is being questioned. Northern Ireland is the only country in the UK that has not banned fox, stag and hare hunting with hounds. Irish hare coursers are unhappy after the government there left the activity off a list of sports allowed during lockdown. The Irish Coursing Club complains that the decision on Christmas Eve was taken without consultation. The ICC says it sets out clearly the reasons why coursing should continue under lockdowns similar to other comparable activities, but was not given a reason why it was excluded. The ICC told Fieldsports News it has made a legal representation to the government. Scotland's Green Party is demanding a new ban on fox hunting. Member Mark Ruskell complains that loopholes in the 2002 ban allow fox hunting. First Minister Nicola Sturgeon has voiced opposition to the activity and pledged to change the rules if people vote her back in the 2021 elections. The Greens made the same call last year before the traditional Boxing Day hunts. A charity in North East Scotland is refusing game meat in fear of a backlash. Game for Giving, set up in 2016, has fed more than 1,500 families, but the unnamed charity it supplies is refusing the free meat from shooting estates after intimidation from people who disapprove of where it comes from. The charity's decision means rural families struggling to cope after months of lockdowns that have had halted tourism and shooting will be denied free venison sausages, mince and stewing meat. SNP councillor Jeeva Blackett told Fieldsports News it's sad that a charity is refusing the free food due to pressure from aunties.
I've done something like this for about 8 years now, where I've worked with estates and given venison or pheasants or partridge at Christmas, and to discover that a charity has been bullied into saying that they can't accept venison and pheasant and partridge, which are so healthy, it's very sad.
Records have showed nearly 1,800 road traffic accidents involving deer in 2018. The Scottish Government says that's an increase of more than a third over the last decade. Advisors claim tens of thousands of accidents go unreported. They say winter is a particularly dangerous time as deer move to lower ground to graze, combined with wet and icy roads and bad light. Police say more than 120 people are injured in accidents involving deer every year. Livestock farmers are under attack. The RSPCA is telling people they shouldn't eat meat or dairy products. At the same time, an animal rights group called Humane Being is trying to force ministers to end factory farming in the UK, which they claim damages the environment and human health. The group complains that intensive animal farming, which is generally not practiced in the UK, causes climate-changing greenhouse gas emissions and risks starting new pandemics. Neither claim is backed by evidence. Even though the RSPCA makes good money from its RSPCA Assured scheme for livestock farmers, its members recently voted for an end to intensive animal agriculture to try to meet the UK's climate targets. Northern Ireland has decided to add rifle magazines to firearm certificates. Magazines do not have their own serial numbers, so the extra paperwork is likely to land police firearms inquiry officers with the same problem they have regulating the use of many rifle moderators. However, Police Service of Northern Ireland rules the magazines are component parts of rifles, and so FAC holders should apply for a variation before they buy, including stating good reason for having spare magazines. Will form filling save the day? A European hunting and shooting organisation has launched a survey about lead, with the European Chemicals Agency planning to ban shooters from even carrying lead ammunition close to wetlands. FACE is asking hunters in the EU about the socio-economic impact of a ban. FACE says it needs to collect reliable information on the number of hunters, number of guns owned, ammunition fired, and whether it's at wildlife or targets. Photographs of a Montereia in Portugal have outraged journalists. The two-day driven shoot of 540 deer and wild boar on what papers described as a fenced estate in the centre of the country made the local papers. Jumping on the bandwagon, Environment Minister João Fernandes says the Monterey by 16 Spanish hunters was vile and an environmental crime that should be prosecuted. However, the Portuguese Hunting Federation, FENCASA, points out that the animals had to be shot after the Portuguese government gave permission for a photovoltaic plant to cover most of the estate. An Australian woman has been accused of killing more than 100 birds. She faces 291 animal cruelty and poisoning charges after wildlife officers allegedly found 140 dead protected native birds, including 128 wedge-tailed eagles at her home in Victoria in August. The maximum penalty for killing native birds or owning them without a licence is 2 years in jail. Wedge-tailed eagles are Victoria's largest bird of prey and are seen as a pest by some farmers because they may prey on lambs. A US TV host has been duped by animal rights extremists. Fox Business's Maria Bartiromo apologised after finding out she was talking to Direct Action Everywhere's Matt Johnson and not Smithfield CEO Dennis Organ. Smithfield is America's biggest pork supplier. In a clip of the interview that was removed from YouTube, Johnson blames animal agriculture for the appearance of new diseases like coronavirus. And finally, top driver of 2020 goes to this game warden in a reserve in South Africa. It's always been a problem with safaris, unexpected charges. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts. Happy New Year.